to give a super thanks or super chat, your super chat is great. Wow, it's starting again. My God. Wow, there's something going on with the live streams today. Okay, so now we start. Excellent connection. Let's see how long, maybe 10 more seconds this will last. But if you want to give a super chat, I cannot do this without you, ladies and gentlemen. Your super chat support, as long as this video, this live stream is functioning, is greatly, greatly appreciated. So hit subscribe. Your super chat is greatly appreciated. I don't have $20 million in venture capital funding. As you can see, I can hardly run a live stream, so I need all the help I can get. But if you want to give any of your thoughts pertaining to the Trump announcing his 2024 run, or the recession, or the Durham Probe Special Counsel, or anything via Super Chat, your support is greatly appreciated. Oil presentation and stock market crash channel. I have segments on both of those today, very important segments. Let's get this started. Latest estimate, ladies and gentlemen, is negative 2% growth. Okay? Negative 2% growth for the second quarter. Now, we are in a recession officially. Okay? We are officially in a recession. This is the fault of the current administration. Okay? Oh my God, are you serious? Are you serious? What is going on? This is the fault, ladies and gentlemen, of the current administration. All right? Inevitable. Okay, so was it inevitable that we would head into a recession this soon into his presidency? And the answer, oh my God, are you serious? Oh. What is going on with this? Are you serious? What is going on with this? Why? Okay, so the next time this cuts out, I'm just gonna do an upload. It's my second live stream in 10 minutes. This has never happened before. But anyway, you have to ask yourself: was this a foregone conclusion? Okay, we're in a recession currently. Elizabeth Warren, AOC, all of these people, Bernie Sanders, who claim to care about the working class, and who claim to care about people stuck in poverty. That's it. I'm just gonna do it. This is unbelievable. I'm just gonna go ahead and do. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? There is something going on. It can't like. There's nothing wrong with still coming out. Oh my God, what is going on? Oh, let me just do a let me let me create a poll here. Okay. Should I do an upload? Should I just do an upload or continue with this live stream? Okay, you let me know. Okay. Live stream or upload. Let me know. DVK! Well, there's still time. DVK, thank you. My God, I don't even deserve it. I don't even deserve it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Should I just do an upload or continue with this live stream? I don't even know what's going on. DVK, my man, thank you. So the question is, was this a foregone conclusion? All right, I think I'll continue with the live stream. And we'll let's do it live. We'll do it live. Exactly, super bass. We'll do it live. We'll just do it live. DVK, thank you so much. I don't even deserve it. Exactly, Shannon. I don't even deserve it. But thank you so very much to my super chat. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. DVK, thank you. So we are in a recession currently. It's the fault of Democratic Party policies. Now, if you say, well, that's not true, we can go and look. Oil industry trade groups sue Biden administration over leasing pause. Okay? Then you might say, well, he reversed the ban on leasing. That was like a year later. Okay? So DVK, thank you again. All right, I think people want the live stream, so we'll keep it with the live stream. Trump is going to announce, likely around November, probably after the midterms. Mark, hello. The Real Deal, hello. PC3, thank you. This is really important, okay? This was a year ago, and the American Petroleum Industry, API, led 12 energy trade groups Monday in a lawsuit against the Biden administration over its temporary moratorium on oil and gas leasing sales, saying the pause constitutes an illegal indefinite suspension of leases. In the lawsuit, the API argued that the leasing moratorium, which Biden established in January, ran afoul of federal law requiring irregular lease sales and reasoned explanations for policy changes. How did this? How on earth is mashed potato brains Joe going to blame oil and gas companies when he's being sued by them for policies that are not only detrimental to their industry, but policies that are trying to actually destroy their industry? He wants to transform the economy from an economy that's run by fossil fuels to an economy run by renewables. DVK, thank you again to my super chat. Thank you. So, we'll go with the live stream. We'll do it live for now. We'll do it live. But if you look, the law is clear. The department must hold lease sales and provide justification for significant policy changes. They have yet to meet these requirements in the 8 months since instituting a federal leasing pause, which continues to create uncertainty for U.S. natural gas and oil producers. There you go. The uncertainty obviously leads to price increases. Okay, so then they don't know anything about how the oil and gas industry works. They say, well, they have 9,000 permits. It takes a while. First of all, the pause on permits on federal land that directly caused an increase in oil and gas prices. That is stated within the lawsuits, because you had 14 states suing the Biden administration as well. Other plaintiffs include the American Exploration Production Council, the Independent Petroleum Association of America, the International Association of Drilling Contractors, the International Association of Geophysical Contractors, the National Ocean Industries Association, the Montana Petroleum Association, the North Dakota Petroleum Council, the Petroleum Alliance of Oklahoma, the Southeast Oil and Gas Association, the Utah Petroleum Association, and the Western States Petroleum Association. Do you think they're suing? You think they were suing his administration just because they wanted to? It's like, you think that they were suing his administration just because they wanted to? They were suing his administration because the Democrats, when they went in the Oval Office, they implemented policies that directly caused made it difficult to conduct business and caused the price of oil and gas to go up. They were certain that they could transition from an economy based 90% on fossil fuels to renewables. They were quickly faced with the reality that it's not only impossible, but oil and gas are geopolitical and strategic issues. Okay. So you have a situation where a federal judge in June previously imposed a nationwide injunction against the moratorium, while a separate lawsuit from Republican-led states proceeds. Last week, the states argued in court that the federal government had violated the June order by not resuming lease sales. They specifically called on the court to reinstate a sale of about 78 million acres of acres offshore of the Gulf of Mexico. Then he goes, the Interior Secretary has defended the administration as in compliance with the injunction. We are complying with the court order now as we speak. The department is working. As I mentioned, there's a lot of work that goes into even having a lease sale, so they are complying with the order. Okay, so the Interior Department declined to comment with the Hill. Their policies directly cause a spike in energy prices because they made it difficult for these oil and gas associations to operate. Okay, they made it very difficult. If you make it difficult for any industry to operate, the goods or services are going to increase in price. This isn't rocket science. Okay, this isn't rocket science. That's what took place. Okay, DVK, thank you again. I mean, my goodness, to my super chat. I can't do this without you. Hopefully, we have a live stream that goes longer than 10 minutes. Luke St. Martin, hello. Eric, Luke, everybody here. DVK, Ramstar, hello. The Real Deal, hello. Everyone here, hello. Thank you so very much for being so patient and tuning in and being here. If you look also at this, there's a diesel fuel shortage. You look also, and we'll get to this, there's hurricane season in the Gulf Coast refineries. We're heading into hurricane season. Over 96%, this is really huge. So not only was Mashed Potato Brain slow in opening up the economy, and he was slow, okay, in doing so. Okay, that wasn't a really big priority for him. Not only were Democrats slow in opening up the economy, but their policies directly impacted oil and gas companies and refineries. Now there's a shortage of diesel fuel. Now gas is a little bit below $5. It'll get to over $5, and you'll have diesel over $6. And once diesel fuel hits 7 or 8, we're looking at a prolonged recession, and we could be flirting with a depression. And that is directly the fault of an administration that wanted to do away with fossil fuels. If you want to transform the economy from fossil fuels to renewables, don't complain. Don't complain when you have a terrible economy because energy prices are too high. Over 96% of crude oil production, listen to this, over 96% of crude oil production and 94% of gas production in the United States oil refineries and purification plants are located in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, climate change activists will say, you see, if you don't drive an electric car, if you don't combat climate change, you'll get more hurricanes. They're not going to be able to guarantee that any of their policies or any of their projections or predictions will lead to less hurricanes. This is a theory that they have. Climate change is real, yes. There's a consensus among scientists, but none of those scientists, and nor is there a consensus that they can guarantee a change in weather patterns. This is like hypothetical or theoretical. And you can't guarantee a change in weather patterns within the next couple of years. And so what you've done is you have tried to transform the leading economy in the world to net zero emissions by 2030, 10 years. You're basically saying you're going to do away with fossil fuels in 10 years or limit fossil fuel use tremendously. Then just own it. Because you're not going to, they can't state with any accuracy or certainty that their policies will cause less hurricanes. Although that's something they will allude to all the time. Now, this is interesting. Let's go ahead and click there. Okay, it's taking forever. When the you-know-what started, many of these refineries had to shut down. See, that was a choice also, okay? Shutting down the United States economy meant that you were going to shut down oil refineries because demand was going to plummet. Okay, and refineries and oil and gas companies, that industry relies on um, projections, supply and demand projections, because they take years and years and have to raise billions of dollars to build a refinery, to manage a refinery, or to build oil rigs. And so the lead time is very long for this. There's a long lead time for this industry. So when Biden comes in and makes it more difficult for oil and gas companies to operate, what happens is they're now working overtime, but he's wasted a whole year and a half of his administration with executive orders meant to combat climate change, um, while we face a fuel shortage, a diesel shortage. And diesel fuel could lead to not only a prolonged recession, if we have a diesel fuel shortage that's cataclysmic, or if hurricanes damage the top four of the top 10 refineries are located um, in the Gulf Coast, and 96%, it says here, 96% of crude oil production, 94% of natural gas production in the United States oil refineries are located in the Gulf of Mexico. So in the next couple of months, watch what takes place with these hurricanes, and watch if they take a couple of these refineries out of commission, or if they um, if the hurricanes cause a decrease in production, because that's going to cause diesel fuel to go up in price. Now, diesel fuel is almost $6 nationally, but if it gets to $7 or $8, that's a huge issue. That is a huge issue. Now, all of these things, like, this is directly the fault of Biden's administration or the Democratic Party. So it was Democrats who gleefully tanked the U.S. economy. They said, oh, we have to. See, that was a choice. Pertaining to what? That was a choice. It wasn't just, well, we didn't know what was going on, and, we had to do something. And it's like, no, you didn't have to do something. Go look at the age of people who lost their lives and the age of people who had generally no problem surviving. Well, that's not the way media operates. Okay. The thing with media is that they can push an apocalyptic scenario and it won't affect them because hysteria and sensationalized news coverage helps media. Okay. It doesn't help any other industry, though. So you will still have your job as a pundit or commentator. Irish Mexican, I agree. But you won't have your job if industry shut down, which is what Democrats pushed for. Okay. And never Trump Republicans. Basically, only a few people tried to. That's the thing. I mean, Trump said, let's open up. And you had the Washington experts say, it's too soon. So here, as soon as refineries seem to be getting back to the new normal, Hurricane Ida ravaged the Gulf Coast. At least 9 of the largest refineries in the country had to completely shut down for repair, and a few have yet to reach full recovery. Oil refineries have to shift from required turnarounds to repairing the damage from the recent hurricane. Each day, a new problem arises for refineries in the Gulf Coast, and we acknowledge how the difficulties. So this is actually a corporate an article from a corporation within the oil and gas industry. So, but here, CSU Tropical Meteorology Project team is predicting 20 named storms in 2022. Of those, researchers expect 10 to become hurricanes and 5 to reach major hurricane strength, with sustained winds of 111 miles per hour or greater. Not good. You heard it here. You might have heard it here first. Not good. Be careful. If you were living in the Gulf Coast, be careful. Okay, God bless you. Happy 4th of July to everybody. But be careful, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a serious issue. Okay? This is the type of thing that wouldn't have happened under Trump. We wouldn't have had these shortages under Trump. We wouldn't have a diesel fuel shortage because he wouldn't have implemented Green New Deal executive orders. Okay. Now, you might say, well, you were on the left your whole life and yeah, I understand that. I wanted to ban fracking, but I didn't realize that banning fracking would increase the cost of gas to heat your homes exponentially or to cook your food. I didn't realize that. Or I did realize that, but I didn't care. I don't know where my mind was. But I can tell you people on the left don't care. That's why when I supported Donald Trump, I kind of opened my eyes to, there's an economy that needs to function. And there's diesel fuel that actually runs the economy. Truckers run the economy. Trucks, trains, cargo ships run on diesel. There's also jet fuel shortage. There's a shortage of everything. Okay, why do we have these shortages? What political party pushed to end economic activity? What bureaucrats pushed to end economic activity? I mean, it's not difficult. Here you have an article in Time Magazine. It's a very good article. Inflation is going to get worse. Blame a lack of diesel. And within the article, of course, it's Time Magazine. Within the article, it's, President Biden is doing the best he can. What? He's literally the enemy of oil and gas associations or oil and gas industry. So oil is going to get to $150 per barrel. Okay. It's going to get to people. I have the Bitcoin crash. No, sorry. The oil prices 150 Bitcoin 10K recession channel. Subscribe to that. I have a segment up today. I'll have a segment every single day on that channel. Okay. Subscribe to the nuclear confrontation. I spiced up the stock market crash channel, and I'm now going to talk about geopolitical catastrophes, the geopolitical crisis we face in Europe, also the geopolitical crisis we face between China and Taiwan, and other issues as well. Okay, we are walking on thin ice. We have all of these shortages. We have a stock market that's going to continue to collapse. So the stock market's going to continue to crash. We haven't had the AIG moment yet, or the Lehman Brothers moment, okay? And they say, well, there's a lot of savings. People have more savings, and companies have more cash. And it's like, well, but there's also inflation is cutting into the savings every single day. We have 8 to 9% inflation. This is all the fault of mashed potato brains Joe. If we had Trump, we wouldn't have had any of this. Trump cares about business. He cares about the economy. He doesn't care about saving the planet. And it's up for debate whether Democrats even care about saving the planet either. Look what Biden's doing. He reversed course immediately. He's flooding strategic, and now he's getting sued by activist groups. Now he's getting sued by climate change activists. So he's done nothing for he's actually harmed the cause of both political sides. It's pretty unbelievable. He got sued by, check this out. This is why, unbelievable, right when we get to 300. Are you serious? What is going on with this live stream today? Unbelievable. God. He got sued by oil and gas associations. Ladies and gentlemen, if you get kicked off, I apologize. Just log back on. It happens, and I don't know why. I just don't know why. But he got sued by oil and gas associations. And then he got sued by 14 states. Then now he tried to flood the country full of strategic oil reserves. We're still producing around 1.5 million less barrels per day than we did prior to you know what. Okay? So and I might have my numbers wrong, but I think that we consume 3 million more barrels than we produce, but we also import. So that's not a good situation. I might have my numbers wrong on that. Okay. Email me at contactgoodman88@gmail.com if I have my numbers wrong on that. By the way, that's my new contact email. Okay, it's contactgoodman88. Okay, not 78, 88. But you have to, like, I mean, you can look here. It's unbelievable. Like, inflation is going to get worse. It's definitely going to get worse. And it's a good article. Oh, Lord. Of course. But when you read it, it's like, President Biden is trying to do everything he can. He's tapping into the strategic oil reserves. And what else is he doing? He's trying to suspend a gas tax. And he's doing this and that. It's like, well, his policies caused all of this. He didn't have to sign those executive orders banning the leasing on federal lands. That set the entire oil and gas industry back a year and caused the price of fossil fuels, diesel, gasoline, natural gas, to go up in price. Okay? It's one of the reasons. All right? Because as we opened up and as the world opened up, which they should never have shut down to begin with, but that's a whole other story, demand was going to skyrocket. We knew that. See, it didn't take a rocket scientist to realize that demand was going to skyrocket after you artificially tanked. You artificially tanked, like, it was a self-induced wound. It was a self-induced wound. What happened was self-induced, completely self-induced. And it was just completely self-induced. And now, I mean, you have a situation where Biden's trying to backtrack. He's even getting sued by environmental groups. He is the only president to get sued by both the oil and gas industry and environmental groups. I mean, he can't please anybody because he doesn't believe anything that he doesn't believe any of the policies that he tries to implement. He's basically told, do this, do that. Okay, with Trump, we had record low unemployment. Unemployment falls to 3.7%. I mean, you could look right here, Washington Post. Okay, this is October 5th, 2018. You know what? Inflation was around 2%. Gas prices were below $3. Inflation was not an issue. It didn't cut into people's paychecks. We had real wage growth. Real wages are down 3%, more than that. Real wages are down. I remember, real wages aren't growing as fast as the GDP. That was the problem back with Trump. And that's why he's going to do very well. Okay? That's why there is no, Gary, thank you. That's why there is no, there's no, like, there's no way that anyone can say the economy was bad under Trump. His last year in office, if you blame his last year in office on Trump, you are an imbecile. Because that was Democrats gleefully tanking the economy to get him out of office. Oh, in addition to keeping us safe, quote unquote. I definitely believe that. Here, AP fact check. Trump exaggerates his role. How do you exaggerate your role? It's happening under, like, where is this Biden exaggerates his, like, do you ever get Biden exaggerates the oil company profits? Oil companies have record profits because the entire world tanked their economies. Countries around the world tanked their economies, led by the United States of America. Then commodity prices and fossil fuels went through the roof because demand spiked. That's not the fault of energy companies, and you've made it more difficult for them to operate. So what are they supposed to do? Give the oil to gas stations for free and then not have an industry anymore? And they're like, oh, it's our patriotic duty. It's like, no, that's your foreign policy. Don't blame your failed foreign policy on the energy companies. You could strike a deal with you-know-who. That's what Trump would do. Oh, democracy, though. Democracy. Every time they say democracy, just like life gets worse. Whenever you hear, I would love to see become a Republican, but I don't think that. I think that she like there are policies that she would want that might not um, might not work within the Republican Party. But in terms of foreign policy, um, foreign policy, I think that Trump, DeSantis, Tulsi Gabbard have a lot in common. I like Tulsi Gabbard a lot. I think she has a great deal of integrity, and she was never somebody. That's why Hillary Clinton went after her and disparaged her. And again, like you never see fact check. You never see like Clinton lies about Tulsi Gabbard. It's when Trump says something that's baseless, it's Trump's lies. It's when Clinton said a completely baseless thing about Tulsi Gabbard, a veteran, by the way. God bless the veterans watching this channel, and God bless you, everybody, and have a great, safe July 4th. You never heard, Clinton makes a baseless claim, lie against Tulsi Gabbard. But I mean, I can't see myself ever voting. I can't see myself voting Democrat unless Tulsi Gabbard takes over the Democratic Party. Also, she could possibly side with Democrats on certain issues, which I wouldn't want. So, but she's very good, though. She's very, very good because she's a critical thinker and she's independent-minded and she doesn't adhere to groupthink. And she's willing to have a conversation with people. She's willing to have a conversation. That's what I think is important. But I like DeSantis. I have to tell you, I love Trump, but I love DeSantis also. So I think DeSantis is fantastic. In many ways, Trump is a fastball. 99, 102 miles per hour down the middle of the plate. Okay? Don D, thank you so very much. Donald Trump is a fastball down the middle of the plate, which you could time if you're a major league hitter. So, that's an issue because he's very, very popular and he has a huge base of support. Trump does, and he deserves a huge base of support because he did a lot of good things. We had a great economy and a great foreign policy. He reversed miserably failed Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld foreign policy, which is why Liz Cheney is going after Trump. So Tulsi Gabbard, DeSantis, Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, they're against these never-ending counterinsurgency conflicts. That was the moral imperative to vote for Trump. I had these people tell me, it's immoral to vote for Trump. It's like, no, I would say it's immoral to vote for mashed potato brains. We're seeing that now. You could see what took place. 50 people lost their lives in a truck. Where is AOC? I mean, that's why you know these people are actors. Where is AOC condemning what took place? Condemning Biden? Condemning Democrats for what took place under their watch? We have Democrats running the House, the Senate, the executive, and you have 50 plus human beings who lost their lives, okay, in a truck coming from the border. So where's the outrage from AOC? That's why the people are the biggest hypocrites on the planet. It's unbelievable. They cheat Bernie Sanders. They don't even have a functioning primary. They talk about democracy every 2 seconds. They take pictures next to chain link fences without even, they don't show what's beyond the chain link fence. They distort history. They distort historical record. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Don, thank you again. Don D, thank you. To my super chat, thank you so much. Thanks for dealing with this live stream. We're almost at 300 subs. DVK, Don, thank you so very, very much. But I want to read you this. Among all, Trump, 43, now has higher personal favorability ratings than Biden. People, this is so important. This is so important, ladies and gentlemen. It's so important. Don and DVK, everybody here. Imagine you could take any human being on the planet, and if they had the Washington Post, the New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, the New Yorker, New York Magazine, The Atlantic, Rolling Stone, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Mother Jones, The Nation, Daily Feed, Daily Beast, BuzzFeed, Los Angeles Times, all of Hollywood, social media algorithms, almost all of Silicon Valley. And so imagine if you had in the entire American political establishment, Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Clapper, Brennan, you had all of these people against you. And you still got half the electorate, basically half the electorate voting for you. Imagine if they didn't have every single possible advantage, and they won't have Twitter in 2 years. They won't have Twitter. Which means that the New York Times will have to work overtime in defending and trying to cover up stories, as will the Washington Post. And the New York Post will get Pulitzer Prizes, hopefully. Pulitzer Prizes along with the Daily Mail. So imagine if you had all of that. Like, there is not a person on the planet who could survive that media onslaught. Trump can. And I can't, like, there are people who are extremely educated, extremely, knowledgeable about politics and intelligent on both sides of the political divide. I don't understand how that you can't differentiate. You can't delineate between Trump, who he is, what he accomplished, the good that he did for the country. He did a tremendous amount of good. And his personality. Image is in everything, people. It's like, that's the thing in like football and baseball and basketball and sports and track. In track, you're going up against the stopwatch, okay? It doesn't matter. Your personality doesn't matter, okay? In swimming, track, boxing. Oh, by the way, in every one of my description sections, I have an article about Floyd Mayweather and how he's one of the most dominant athletes of all time. And I have an article about Barry Bonds and why he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And if you disagree with me on both of those things, please read the articles and share them. Share them, because they're in the description section of every one of my segments. But you have, ladies and gentlemen, like, how do people not realize that the Washington Post, for example, the Washington Post had 30,000 lies. Okay, they didn't compile a list of lies with President Obama. They didn't compile a list of lies with Joe Biden. Their rationale is, well, these people don't lie as much. But if you took every statement they made and critiqued those statements in the same manner that Trump was evaluated and critiqued in the most petulant and malicious manner every single day, cutting and slicing, dicing up words and debating about the semantics of the word that he used here and there, he would have the same amount of lies. And by the way, they lie about, like, Hillary and Joe lied about a lot worse. A lot worse. Private servers with top secret intel. And by the way, I want Hillary Clinton to run again. Did I tell you that? So I want Hillary Clinton to run again. She will. Exactly. Titus Robinson. Exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, here's the thing with Barry Bonds. They didn't return the money from all the jerseys he sold, from all the television, like the millions of dollars in television deals that his play and his, like, that he was able to contribute almost single-handedly, along with McGwire and Sosa. It was Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa after the strike in '94, along with others that helped rebuild Major League Baseball. Okay, Major League Baseball was in the dumps. And they helped with TV, they helped with merchandising, they helped make it a great deal more profitable. And everybody knew what was taking place, what they were taking. The owners knew, Major League Baseball knew. Jose Canseco talks about that. Okay, So they're not returning the money that Barry Bonds helped them make. That's my point. That's one of the major reasons he should be in the Hall of Fame. I've actually met a couple sports writers, and they're nice people, but they kind of like they kind of like they don't see things from that perspective at all. They don't see things from that perspective. Like with Pete Rose, they don't look at it like, well, he's paid his price. He's paid his debt. Um, but anyway, so share those articles, ladies and gentlemen. They're bite ma hello. They are um Eric, hello. Um share those articles because I would like more people to maybe learn a little, like, that I do care about other topics as well. I do care about others like sports also. So, but definitely read the Floyd Mayweather article. Before I did research for it, I didn't realize how dominant he was, and I said, well, his style is the Philly shell, and he doesn't really. But then I realized, wow, he 26. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen, and then we'll get back to the Trump and DeSantis. 26 of Floyd Mayweather's 50 victories were against current or former world title holders. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. DVK, Don, Eric, Luke St. Martin, everybody here. 26 world title holders. So half of Floyd Mayweather's victories were against perhaps some of the, De La Hoya, all-time great. Okay, so all-time greats. Miguel Cotto. So half of those victories were against the best, and in some cases the best of all time. That's even more dominant than, when you look at it, it's even more dominant than Jordan. Or even Gretzky. This is when you look at it from that perspective. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I agree, Richard. Pete Rose does belong in the Hall of Fame. It's interesting, too, like all of these people who they're like, Pete Rose doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Who are you voting for? Hillary Clinton. Oh, okay. Well, she had private servers with top secret intel. That's a crime, actually. That's a national security issue. Oh, well, he didn't bet on baseball. It's like, well, I can understand that. But it's been 30 years now. So he paid his debt. If you want to say that Pete Rose shouldn't be in because he bet on baseball, okay. But it's been 30 years. He paid his debt. No? Don't you think he paid his debt? Oh, well, you know what? Shoeless Joe Jackson is in the Hall of Fame. It's like, well, that's a different story, though. That whole thing is that they actually worked with a whole bunch of people. Some of them did, some of them didn't. They were acquitted, actually. The 1919 Black Sox were acquitted, but they did. A whole bunch of the players did agree to fix the series. So anyway, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different story. He didn't bet as a player, by the way. So Pete Rose didn't bet on baseball as a player, which I don't think, like, see, again, like, they don't make any, like, distinction. It's like he bet on baseball, that's it. He's never getting in. Like, well, but he wasn't a player. What he did as a player was amazing. So anyway, getting back to Trump. Nina, thank you. We will end this in 15 minutes. I just cannot believe, ladies and gentlemen, that this live stream is working out. Florida Man Bear, hello. And so let's just go ahead. Among all Americans, Trump 43% has a higher favorability rating than Biden. Think about that for a second. If you didn't have all of media propping up Joe Biden, what would his favorability rating be? Trump is basically running a 4.5, 4.4, 40-yard dash with a 100-pound backpack. So imagine, think about that for a second. Mashed potato brains is so bad that despite every single possible advantage propping him up, are you serious? Really? Yet again, they kicked us. Unbelievable. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Adam on 31458! Mayweather Jr. got hit about 3 times in his career. When I saw him in Vegas 2013, I was astonished. Late 30s at the time, he didn't run away. Yes! He was Pretty Boy Floyd and then Money Mayweather. It was later. That's right. That's right. And he perfected the Philly shell. Adam Bomb 31458. Thank you. Indy Joy, hello. Gary, I apologize for that. Yeah, they just threw people off again. And about 31458. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you know, life is so much more than politics. Like politics is not that doesn't even define me as I don't define myself. Even though I have this YouTube channel and I have the oil 150 Bitcoin 10K recession channel, and I have the nuclear confrontation and stock market crash channel, and subscribe to those. And I have my writing, in a whole bunch of places. It doesn't define who I am. That doesn't define it's like one element of I miss what I do, but it's one element of my personality. It used to be politics. Used to be Adabon 31458. It used to be its own world. And because the Democratic Party doesn't really have any policies or ideology that functions in reality, it really doesn't. And issues like Social Security or the social safety net, generally Republicans aren't really touching those issues now. And these aren't real. The Supreme Court, that was a decision left to the states. So you have to then, on the state level, instead of yelling and screeching and vandalism and all of that, you have to actually convince your political opposition. There you go. Convince your political opposition. That's why Trump is good because his personality alone is a statement in and of itself. But the bad thing is that he needs to do a better job of convincing people on the fence. He needs to do a better job of convincing people on the fence. For example, he did say the economy, the oil and gas industry, the stock market. He predicted all of that. So he talked about all of that. But the last year of his presidency, ladies and gentlemen, Anabon 31458, thank you so very, very much. To my super chat, thank you. I can't do this without you people. And I appreciate your NL, thank you. Thank you for subbing to those. I appreciate that. NL. Thank you for your patience, everybody. I apologize for I don't know what went on today with the getting kicked off of the streams, but you used to be able to watch Jimmy Kimmel on the Man Show, and he had a more conservative or libertarian philosophy on life. Okay, now he's a Democratic operative. So is Seth Meyer. So is Stephen Colbert. These people are like Democratic operatives. You can't just enjoy yourself. You can't watch the Academy Awards. You can't watch, there's no courage in being an activist when the entire planet backs you. You can be an activist, do whatever you like, but don't say that you're courageous. They think these people in Hollywood, they think they're oh my God, we're standing up to Trump. It's well, why don't you stand up to your own industry full of immorality and corrupt criminal behavior? They won't do that, though. That's for sure. They'll only do that if they get caught with their pants down, literally. oftentimes. But yeah, I mean, like, politics is just one element of a person's interests. It doesn't define a human being. Nowadays, you know, Democrats and media have to make it define who you are because they don't really have an answer to Trump. Donald Trump was their worst nightmare because he was charismatic. He has his own charisma, and his favorability ratings are now higher than Mashed Potato Brains Joe. Like, you can even look at the White House press conferences. Why didn't Trump have press conferences as orderly and, like, where were the journalists who were, like, docile, and even, like, Peter Doocy is, like, respectful. He's not like Acosta, who was disrespectful all the time. So, but Trump is going to, if you look, ladies and gentlemen, if you look, Donald Trump announcing 2024. Is Trump on the brink of another run? Well, that's 4 weeks ago. Trump weighs early 2024 launch as January looms. Nobody cares about the committee. Okay, Stephen Colbert's crew even, like, basically were charged and arrested with the same crimes as most of the people, I'd say, in January. And I condemn that day, but I also condemn $1 to $2 billion in property damage. Again, they delineate, they differentiate between $1 to $2 billion in property damage and oh my God, are you serious? Are you serious? This is unbelievable. It's never ending, people. It's never ending. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to end this. To my super chat, thank you. I do apologize for the choppy stream. I have no clue what took place. I mean, there's got to be an issue with YouTube. I don't think it's me. I think it's YouTube. But give me your thoughts below. Please go ahead and subscribe to the two other channels I have. And definitely be here in about an hour. I'll have an upload in about an hour. And thanks, everybody. To my super chat, thank you so much. I think we're going to end it. Be here. Anabon 31458. Thank you so very much. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. DVK, thank you. Don, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. I should have a live stream tomorrow at about, I would say, 5 p.m. 4:30 or 5 p.m. So I'll do a live stream tomorrow about 5 p.m. people. Subscribe to both channels. The oil price is $150.